What up, y'all? Welcome back. We in the lab with Mega Man, bro. BattleRapScience. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. We broke down everything. We got notes. We watched everything. I thought I was gonna get a chance to rewatch this morning, but I see it's not back up. So I don't know if it's like you can watch it still or that was just it. It's just a one time view type deal. But still, we're gonna talk about the event, man. It was a dope event. I enjoyed it. The trenches, bow down, the tournament battles, and then the main battles. Let me pull my notes up here. I'll run through the tournament. What I thought about that, real quick. Let's see what I got here on my notes, bro. So the first battle I watched was Dylan versus Dill Bundles. It was a decent battle. I felt like the dude Dylan, he was dope. He had some bars. He said, "No, it's a dead body because you can't fake the funk." Clip hyper extended. Uh, get clipped with this old ass handle. He had some Dylan had some drug bars. Cool quarter flip. Did it in front of my pops like Jalen Brunson. That was fire. But one thing I will say for Dill Bundles, you had some good bars, but I feel like your delivery was rushed. Your punches weren't really landing like they could have, so it was a lack of execution there. And I feel like that ultimately is why Dylan won the battle. Dylan, his projection was better. He had a couple of stumbles in the second, but overall his material just went over a little bit better, a little bit more potent, a little bit more powerful. Also, Dylan had a good rebuttal. I wrote down that he had a better delivery. He called himself Eminem and had an interscope connection bar because Dre found him. Dre Majesty found him. But Deal Bundles had a good third. I feel overall he lost, but I think he fought. He fought and he showed that, even though, he may lose this battle, he still has potential to get better moving forward. So that's how I had that one. XP versus King Stokes. King Stokes had a Geechee Gotti punch out the gate. And I noticed immediately he has nice projection, a good delivery. I had him winning this battle over XP. XP was good though. King Stokes also had a bar I wrote down. He said, "You'll get hit as that car rolls by like a punch buggy." Then he had this fire tic tac toe scheme slash punch where he came back and said, "You forgot I had to draw the pound first." That was fire. I liked it. That XP, he had some stuff. He said, "I'm so Pyru, they knew to put me on the right side of the bracket. We had a paperwork party, so I grabbed that manila folder and pushed the envelope." So XP, he was fighting as well. I felt like this was a good battle, but I had King Stokes taking that. The next one, TFE Jimbo. All I wrote was TFE knocked the round out of Trey Arkane, bro. He was going crazy. I ain't write down nothing TF Jimbo said. Once I seen this was a body, this was a body. But I heard Arkane. This is like his fourth, fifth battle, so maybe the moment was just a little bit too big. He can go back to the drawing board and do his thing. Bills versus Firearm Zeek. I ain't gonna lie, this is where I went to the store. But I know Bells is fire, so I was kind of listening. I had the earbuds in while I'm in the store, but I really didn't catch nothing. You know what I mean, between them two. That's one that I really wanted to watch back if I could, but like I told you, it's not up. It wasn't up. Mike versus Wave. I thought this was an interesting battle. We know Mike, Bash Money Mike. He's got bars on type of bars. He's a great writer for real. So out the gate in the first, I had Mike doing what he does. I had Mike punching his head off, taking the first. In the second, I thought Wave went crazy. He didn't have too many bars, but he built up his material and his execution was about as good as you can ask for. He had a lot of energy. He had a theme where he kept calling him a dumbass or something, and he had crowd participation. So I gave him points for all of that. I felt Mike took a dip in the second, so I gave Wave that second. In that third, I thought it could have really went either way. I was thinking potentially Wave might have did enough to steal the battle, in my opinion. You know what I mean? This is one where it would have been good to have a watch back because I know Mike is a real punch heavy type of dude, and a lot of his bars you may actually have to watch back on cam. But I had Wave edging. You know what I mean? But I ain't mad that people give it to Mike because I know Mike is fire like that. So that's how I called that. So here we go. Then we got Reggie P. Reggie P versus Lee LND. Let me tell y'all, man. Reggie P was snapping. Reggie P did his thing, bro. He was going off. I don't have notes for the rest of the card. I was just listening and locked in, but Reggie P was doing his thing. The crowd wasn't trying to give it up. It's like they were trying to give Lee LND an opportunity to make up ground, but Reggie wasn't having it. He had his foot on his neck the entire time. This is a 3-0, bro. Actually, is it a body? It's about as close as a body you can get without the body bag. So that's how I called that. Quban versus KD. No. Wait. Steams. Quban versus Steams. I felt like this was a good battle, a good back and forth battle. Both fought hard. It was on some we go hard versus OSBL type shit. If I was forced to pick a winner off that first watch, I'm going to lean towards Quban because I had it 1-1 going into the third. And I just felt like in the third, Quban did more. His consistent flows, you know, Quban knows how to set up a punch and execute it. And that's basically what he did. I felt Steams did good as well. So I ain't mad if people gave it to Steams. It was about what and what. But to me, just if you isolate just in that third round, I edged it to Quban there. Let me see. Am I missing any battles? Reggie P. Oh, King Kia versus Blink. King Kia was fire, man. King Kia was fire. He has some great quotables. His content is exactly what the trenches be looking for. So I had that a possible gentleman's 30 over Blink. Kia, he showed that he was very witty. And he's improving his delivery. See, I've been new about King Kia. I watched a bunch of his battles, and I always knew he had the ability to write, but his delivery wasn't really catching on the way to entertain or at least to entertain me the way that I'm used to. But I feel like he's improving in that department. So if he can really make strides there, he could be a problem. I was thinking, watching King Kia, I'm like, shoot, I might want to see King Kia versus V Gotti. That might be a fire battle. King Kia versus a lot of people. So be on the lookout for him. All right, so I already did the rest of them. And so the next one is KD versus Dre Majesty. This is a dope. This battle of the night, man. This battle of the night, they had the money on the floor. I think somebody just popped out of nowhere and put money on the floor. I don't think they bet. But this was a fire battle, man. Out the gate, KD, he was punching. He was doing what KD do. A solid round, hard to beat round. Dre Majesty came right back at him, cleared the round, took the room. Well, we knew he had the room. That's one thing. That was a theme of the night. The room, you could tell who was the home favorite. But I guess that's home court advantage, right? But nah, Dre Majesty, he did what he needed to do in that first. He took that first. And so I feel like after that, KD came back in the second, like, oh, no, it ain't finna go like this. And KD delivers one of the rounds of the whole event. He was bombing back to back to back to back to back in that second. KD wrote his ass off. We already know he's a great writer, but KD really did his thing and took that second round. So it's 1-1 going into the third. Man, in the third round, KD came out bombing again, but it's like Dre Majesty had just enough to steal the victory back. This is a debatable. It could really go either way. Like I said, it was battle of the night. But I ain't mad if somebody picked either person, bro. It could have went KD way. It could have went Dre Majesty way. But I just feel like, in my opinion, Dre Majesty with the edge on that one. So I had a 2-1 Dre Majesty. Now, Eazy versus Av. Eazy versus Av was a fire battle, man. This is about as close to a classic as you can get. Um, Fire battle, bro. Av was in there 10 toes down, looking unbothered in the trenches in Philly, man. So he goes first, and it's a strong Av round, solid Av round. Uh, Av touched on a little bit of everything in that first. It's kind of like he delivered his summary on what he gonna speak about. He had punches. He brung up Pottsville. It was a dope round, strong round. Then Eazy went, and Eazy was good, and you can tell he had the crowd behind him. But I feel like in that first round, Av took the first. I felt like this may have been Eazy's weakest round. Um, and Av took the first. You know, Eazy was bombing though. Eazy was bombing. Um, so we go to the second, bro. The second, Av comes, but Av is pretty consistent. Av is pretty consistent throughout his 3 rounds. I felt like he did more of the same in that second. He did really really good. I don't think it was as good as his first, but it was right there. And then Eazy went, and Eazy was bombing in his second. I felt like it was clear that Eazy took the second round. He it was clear he rode up. It was like he got stronger from his first to his second. The crowd was behind him again, as it should be, because he home. You know what I'm saying? Eazy brings up, you know, the URL and him being sick and him being a puncher and stuff like that. And it was effective. It was effective. One thing I feel like did kind of take away from Av was his defense. His defense in this battle, at first it started off cool because he just standing there like, whatever. It ain't bothering me. It ain't bothering me. He drinking the water, but the elbows up. The elbows up, keeping Eazy back, which was cool. That was a good tactic. I love that. But then it's like he kept breathing hard and kept shaking his head. And I get it. A little bit of that is cool because it's like, nah, this ain't affecting me, or this ain't true. This stuff isn't true. When you can talk a little bit, I get it. Vet moves. But then he got to the point to where he's belching. And so it kind of became obvious you're doing a little bit too much now. It looks like it's actually, you're doing so much, it's looking like it's actually affecting you now. I'm just telling you from the perspective of the viewer. You know what I mean? So that's 1-1. I had Eazy clearly taking the second. I had Av edge in the first. And so I'm like, okay, let's see who wanted more in this third. I felt Av came out with another consistent round. I felt that his third was better than his second. And he had punches, delivery. It was vintage Av. All 3 really. And so I'm like, this is a hard round to beat. Even though I've seen a lot of people online saying, oh, he touching on the same topics. These are topics that everybody's going to touch on, bro. I felt like Eazy touched on some of the same topics too. You know what I mean? So I'm not taking points away because you're mentioning Remy again, or you're mentioning people leaving the trenches again, or you mentioning leaving URL again. As long as you come up with a different punch, and it's a punch that we've never heard before, I'm giving you credit for that. That's how I look at it. So it was a good round. But then Eazy goes. And I feel like Eazy matched the round, bro. I feel like really this is a push. This is probably a tied battle in my opinion. Now, I was forced because people always be like, nah, you can't say a tie. You got to say somebody. I was forced to pick a winner. And I said okay, well, since, you know, Av was away and it seemed like it was a push, that could be looked at as a win for Av. If you standing in the trenches, people got you damn near tied with Eazy in Philadelphia, you know, what more is there to say? But if I really had to say it, I say this is a push, bro. About as close to a classic as you can get. I feel like some of the little antics and things that went on during the battle may have took away from it a little bit, or it could have been a classic. There was even this one part where Av was drinking his water. I'm talking about Av savored that water, bro. He had about an inch of water all the way through the battle. He's sipping on it because he trying to keep that elbow up. And he got to a point, Eazy put the elbow down like, nah, you gonna talk this. Av was like, man, let me drink my water. It was so funny. Now, that was perfect. I love that part of it. Like, let me drink my water. That was dope, man. But this was overall a dope battle, man. I really enjoyed it. Either person you got winning, bro. I can make it. If I wanted to, I can flip it around and make a case for Eazy winning. Because in his third round, he created some haymakers that was fire. He had the stutter punch that he put that in, because you know people gonna talk about him stuttering. So he said, yeah, I stutter with this gun, but eventually it come out. You know, it was fire. He had a couple of more haymakers like that. And surprisingly, he didn't even bring up the boss. I thought he was going to bring up the boss because, you know, he did that versus Swamp, and the boss is Av's manager as well, but he didn't even bring that up. But so, man, this was a tied battle for real. This was a tied battle. You really can't say either one of these brothers lost, man. This was great battle. I feel like it was great for the culture. I feel like this fire. I want to watch it again. Hey, Eazy, put it back up for the people who bought it, bro. Is it just a one time or what we doing? But nah, that was a dope battle. Eazy the Block Captain versus Av was a success. Never Bow Down was a success. The stream was good the whole night. I will say, what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something about the judges, but I don't even know. But nah, the tournament went good. The battles were going quick. It was a lot of battles, but they were going fast. So it was a good event, man. I get the event probably what a 8.5. You know what I'm saying? It was good. I wanted to see Plug. That had me down, bro, because I know Plug is fire. And he been battling, and he from Alabama, and you know, I just hate that Tanner was even involved in this tournament, bro, because you know, I've heard that he wasn't dependable before. So that's all I'm gonna say on that. But Plug moved on, so that was cool. We gonna get to see him the next go round. But yeah, man, Never Bow Down, the trenches. It was a dope card, bro. Maybe I'll get to go more in depth if they put the battle back up. I'm gonna probably get on Twitter and see if they gonna put it back up or whatnot. I'll let your boy, man, BattleRapScience in the building, bro.
BattleRapScience, I got the formula. BattleRapScience, got the formula. Sharp with the timing, I make the whole room snap. BattleRapScience, yeah, that's how we rap. I know the pressure points, I know the weak spots.